So if you go ahead and introduce yourselves, please.
Hi, I'm Molly Hubbard with Shape Innovation.
I'm Paul Hubbard.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Shape Innovation. Exactly what's the nature of the business, and then also how did you get involved with this business?
Shape Innovation, we're foam fabricators, EPS foam fabricators. Most people refer to it as styrofoam. And we are primarily a custom shop, so we make everything from movie props to architectural foam, to cake dummies, to foam balls. We do have some stock products, but mostly we're custom.
So did you start Shape Innovation?
No, actually my father started Shape Formation about 24 years ago. And he ran this business up until about 2 years ago, and then he decided he was going to actually shut down. He was getting older, and so Paul and I came in and we decided to take over and start kind of in a different direction. And we do more props. My dad focused mostly on architectural foam, and we do more props and carvings and things like that.
Actually, you came to work here for 2 or 3 years to learn all the ropes before
he ever left. I did. So I've been working here for years.
And what are your backgrounds? I mean, do you have a foamology degree or?
No, well, I grew up with my dad running this business. I was kind of in and out of here and just had a basic knowledge.
You used to sleep over here on the phone when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, he would drag me in the mornings when I was a kid, and I would sleep on a pile of boxes in here, during the summer. But anyways, my background was mostly actually accounting. I was doing accounting, and then just saw an opportunity. My dad was ready to get out, and I decided it was time for me to get in. And
actually, that's where we really complement each other, because her background is all the accounting, all the financial. Mine was all software, technology, design, graphics, a lot of art background. So it was able to move right in here because we do a lot of art stuff. I mean, everything's got to be designed first, sent over to our guys who do all the drawings. Then it goes back to the artists where they actually do the carving, the cutting, sculpting.
Now, this business sounds, if you get away from the architectural, which sounds more kind of regular stuff, it sounds very customized. How do you actually attract people? I mean, here we are in rural Georgia, and yet you've got props that are showing up on some pretty well-known movie sets. How do you do that?
Most of our customers are out of state. I would say probably 75% of our customer base is out of state, and we ship our products. The internet is where most of our customers come from.
Although yours really starting to get word of mouth now.
We're focusing more now on the local area, trying to get more involved in our community and let people know we're here, especially with the Georgia tax credits for the movie industry. In 2008, they issued these credits, so now all the movie people are coming to this area, which has been really helpful for us in the movie prop department.
So pretty much having a good website, and then once you get in the first time to, what would you call a person that buys props for a film?
A set director, an art director, construction designer.
Okay, so once they know that you exist, then they're more likely to come back.
Yes.
What percentage of your business would you say is repeat now?
It's increasing.
It's drastically increased. I would say at least probably 50%.
And that's just really in the last 2 years that you've been full-time kind of making this happening?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what about competition? You said something interesting to me before about competition. What kind of competition do you have? How much do you worry about it?
I don't worry about it very much at all, because I feel like we're just creating our own culture around here. We're creating our own thing, and we really don't stress out about the competition much. We feel like we add a lot of extra value as far as we take really good care of our customers, and I think that that's where we stand out over our competition. We of course do have a lot of other people, especially in the last decade or so. There have been a lot of other companies that have come up and are doing this kind of thing. They're not very local, they're on different sides of the country, but once people work with us, they like to come back because we treat them really well.
Now, you mentioned also that you have 5 full-time employees, the 2 of you plus 3 other employees as well. What do you look for in employees? Do they have to, because it's so artistic and so customized, do they have to have an art degree or a background in art, or what do you really look for there?
We look for people who are just motivated to learn. I think that that's the most important quality in an employee. We don't require somebody to have a degree. They need to be pretty well versed with numbers, though. We use a lot of tape measures and So they need to have some just basic knowledge of numbers and formulas and that kind of thing. But I think mostly it's just somebody who's willing to learn, somebody who's motivated, somebody who can kind of just adapt and.
It's good people. I mean, one of our employees has been here on and off since he was 15 or something.
Yeah.
And he is very loyal to Molly. I mean, they grew up together. They were friends.
Okay.
This guy would do anything now. And our other employees, I feel the same way. I mean,
Yeah, we have a great bunch here, and like I was saying before, we actually have one guy who didn't think he was an artist at all, and he was working mostly on the equipment. He has turned out to be an excellent artist just by being around here and getting exposed and trying things out, and he has turned into be a great sculptor actually. So
Now, what would you say your greatest challenge? This is kind of the last question for you, but what is the greatest challenge you have moving forward? It sounds like you've had really good growth. This custom business, the film business, has really taken off. You're developing a great reputation.
I would say, related to the growth part, I would say the funding, the financing, because it is really hard to get financing, and we have bootstrapped everything we've done so far. We didn't want to go into debt to start out. We wanted a sustainable way to keep going. So I guess that's something that is definitely on my mind is, to fund our growth. That's going to be a little difficult.
And are you actively looking at financing now, even though you?
Not yet. We're not actively looking. It's kind of rolling around in our heads right now, but we haven't gotten there yet. So. And equipment. Again, we're upgrading everything around here since it is an older business. We have we have some older technology that we've been upgrading, and that also this equipment's pretty expensive to replace. So.
I actually have one more question because I was just thinking about your service. Do you actually get these set designers? Do they come here at all, or do you mostly deal with them from a remote basis?
It's a little of both. Obviously, the ones that are here in Georgia, they usually come in, and we sit down and go over the drawings together and figure out exactly what they need. But we can certainly do that over the internet and fax and email and that kind of thing.
We worked really close with one individual, very technical set, and he was the set director, right? On the, I don't know if I should mention the movie, but where they came in here, we were doing the walls and the ribbons. And
yeah, he spent a couple days.
Spent a lot of time in here with us.
Okay.
So it just depends. It's a little of both. I mean, we can do everything over.
And I would imagine with repeat customers, once they know you and they trust you, and then that's where you go.
That's really, we started out, the first thing we did was revamp the website, because it literally was like Fred Flintstone had created it. Once we did that, it really boosted the
exposure.
Thing about it is, Molly, one of her talents is she really is committed to, like, I want to get the customer more than what they're paying for.
Right.
And when she does that over and over and over, now they're calling, and it's Shape Innovation. Can I speak to Molly? And it's somebody that knows her, wants to talk to her, talk about something that she wants to place. But it really has turned into a word of mouth thing where, hey, you got to call Shape, ask for Molly, she'll take care of you, and that's really been one of the building things of our business.
Okay, now I'm going to go right behind you, and I'm going to look at this fancy tree that you said is 15 years old.
At least, probably.
And this is an example of, really, it started out as styrofoam.
Actually,
right?
EPS foam.
EPS foam, sorry.
Actually, this was a technique where they actually used caustic acid to etch this up and then hard-coated it.
Okay.
Yep, that was for a sign at an apartment complex.
So these are just some smaller examples, if you will, letters and shapes and images, and you also do cakes like you might see on a TV show.
Cake dummies, yep.
Cake dummies, anvils.
You ever seen Sweet Home Alabama?
Yep.
Did you remember the crazy uncle that was blowing up the anvils? These were the anvils.
Or logos, you do things for trade shows and movie sets and all kinds of stuff. Very, very good. Okay.